Hi everyone, this is Danielle from the Obstacle Doc, and today we're going to talk about lower abdominal activation, specifically when you are in the quadruped position. Quadruped position is hands and knees. It's just a fancier way to call it. It is also the starter for any kind of plank extension, single leg plank, and so that's why it is crucial to get with more stability before you take it away. So when we talk about our quadruped position, we're always kind of referencing that postural neutral, which is going to be the tailbone, the mid-scapular area, and then the back of the head, okay? If you need to reference this, we do have an ideal posture video that you can reference for why this is what we're looking for. But Christopher is then gonna go hands and knees. And again, our ideal posturing here is going to be hip bone directly above the knee. So that's one line here, and then shoulder right over the wrist. So we have two lovely lines of force. And then I'm gonna take this and we're gonna go right above. What we want would be tailbone, the back of the head, and right between the shoulder blades. There is, like we said, always gonna be a little bit of a natural curve. What we don't wanna see is totally sinking down where you're creating excess curve. And you don't also need to go flat. So try to show me flat. So this is also shooping him off. So this for him is not going to be ideal. He's going to come back to what his neutral should be, which is right here. Okay. So this is our starting position. Just here, you should start to feel some work coming from the front side of the body. If you are dropping that down, you're going to see the schloop opening through here because you don't have the stability from the front. The other things that are going to have to work when you are in quadruped position, go ahead and turn that on, is your glute muscles. These are holding you in a stretched position, but they are still working dynamically, as well as your shoulder girdle. You are pushing the ground away from you. So for some people, this is going to be enough already to give them some sense of work. What we find is that a lot of the times, again, group fitness, yoga, boot camp kind of classes, you will hear complaints of low back pain, of shoulder pain, of neck pain when you're in this position. And a lot of the times that can be cleaned up just by finding what your neutral is. So once you have found this neutral, we can try testing out dynamically staying in the position by taking one knee out at a time. And again, this might be enough for some people. What you don't want to see is the drop through the back, the rotation through the hip, right? These are all compensatory patterns that we're trying to fight. So he is using glute to extend. He is using abdominals to stay upright. And then bring that leg back in. And you can do the other side. We are not perfect, so if he is struggling with this, that's okay. We are also working on our own progressions. So come back in. So he lost a little bit right here. That's okay. We're just trying to stay neutral. Cool. If you feel like you have mastered it or you're trying to challenge yourself, you can always take that all the way out. Very nice. And then slowly come back in. Good. And then try to switch sides. So we can see just by this test, he's having a little bit more trouble on this side. That's okay. You're going to feel different from side to side. And then where you can start to really play is extending one arm out, maybe at the same time, opposite arm, opposite leg. And now you're also testing that shoulder girdle as you're trying to maintain the lower abdominal activation. Go ahead and come back in. One more note on common exercises or common themes that we see with patients who are experiencing low back pain with their activity is if you're doing any kind of targeted glute work in this position. So I'm going to have you try to do a little donkey kick here. What we will see oftentimes is that this will try to go too high and then you start to sink through the abdominals. So if he keeps this tight without trying to turn on the glute, which is supposed to be working, you can see that he cannot lift this leg up as dramatically as you might want it to go. So go ahead and come back down. Good job. So if you're trying to go too high with your leg when you're doing any kind of glute work in quadruped, even in a plank position, you want to be mindful that this remains tight and turned on so that you're not dropping through your rib cage and you're not over exaggerating your lumbar curvature as you're moving the hips.